We are live. Say hello to everybody. Hi.
Hi from Grass.
Hi from Grass. So we're here. You probably saw our previous video. We were talking about jasmine, specifically the jasmine grown in grass, and we're here with Mo and what I don't remember. Is it your name again?
Anne.
Anne. Okay, Mo and Anne, and they just walked us through the fields, and so you'll be seeing those videos. But we came inside because it's a lot warmer, and we started talking about the significance of grass and what grass means to perfumery. Right, and you guys had a lot of interesting things to say, and so I wanted to capture that, and I also wanted to invite the audience, because we're all sitting here trying to keep warm, we're all to ask questions. And someone I didn't introduce is this gal here. This is Nina, and so if you've enjoyed the videos this week, Nina has been making that happen for us. We started with the Grass Institute of Perfumery, and we're ending here in the jasmine fields. And so I wanted to ask you guys, like, what makes grass significant in perfumery, right?
Well, first thing is its history. It's the fact that flowers for the perfume industry have been grown here for 300 years, I think.
That's a really long time.
The jasmine, not that much, but
Right.
still more than around 200 years. So in that time, you have to accumulate knowledge. First thing. It can be other way. Then, during this time, there have been a lot of industries that have grown here, and those industries, to this day, have installation, have knowledge, they know their work. They are one of the best in terms of extracting essential oils from natural products.
Yeah.
The thing is, for instance, they don't treat only grass flower production. They treat natural product coming from all around the world.
I see.
Be it vanilla,
Ylang-ylang.
tree saps from everywhere, because they know how to do it.
Right.
And one other thing that makes this industry really strong is that they're concentrated. There may be 8 of the 10 largest aroma producers in the world.
Right. Could you name some of them for people so that they know? Okay.
So those are names that shouldn't be known to the large public.
Right, because you guys are familiar with dealing a lot of the times with brands, right? They have the brands like Dior, for example. Chanel.
Exactly. Those brands are known to the public, and those houses make their own perfume.
Right.
But most of the perfume you will buy in your store from other brands, well-known brands, don't come from them. So they will turn to professionals. Those professionals are EFF, Firmenich, Givaudan. Those 3 are not from France. They are from Switzerland. I think the 3. And from Grass, we have Man and Robertet, and a few others that are a little bit small.
Right.
But those 5 are the big giant of the perfume and aroma industry.
They supply a majority of the fragrance industry.
For alimentation, for many things. And the fact that they are concentrated in grass in one small town, and they are used to work together. There's competition between them, but there's most of all they are together in a competition against the rest of the world.
Right.
And they manage. I get that from them, from one of them that told me that's one thing is unique in grass. Those brands have factories all over the world. Man maybe has 20 factories around the world.
Right, okay.
But only here, there's this microcosm that if they have a problem during production, they can turn to one another, to their competitors.
I see.
And they will find a way together.
Right. And so people are exchanging information here, and they're sharing the skills and the knowledge, and that's one of the things.
Oddly enough, yeah. Because I don't know.
Oddly enough, you wouldn't think that they would work like that, but
it's not. You won't see that anywhere else.
But everybody seems to have. So everyone I've met seems to have a very vested interest in grass, right? And sharing the knowledge and preserving this wealth and this history that's here. And you said at one point that it was almost lost. Is that right? Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we almost lost it because no, we wouldn't have lost the perfume industry as a whole, but the culture, the growing of the flowers in grass, yes, because from 1970 to the year 2000, the synthetic component came to the market and displaced all the natural production, because it's natural production is 20, 30, 40 times
more expensive.
More expensive, yeah. And only so we kept a handful of growers because let's say Chanel,
yeah,
had Coco number 5, for instance, that everyone knows. Coco number 5 was made with grass jasmine. If they want to continue to sell Coco number 5, they have to Coco.
Chanel number 5.
Chanel number 5. Sorry. Okay. But okay, number 5. They have to keep some fields in grass. So there were a little bit of production left, only for those few perfumes that were universally known.
Right.
But they wouldn't put jasmine in all their new perfume. For all their new perfume, they would try to get jasmine from elsewhere or synthetic jasmine.
So it was limited to certain companies at the time?
Yes. Only a few of them that had a few brands that were known enough to keep buying those products. And even then, they restricted their usage of those products. But the years 2000 came, and I think it's something we see in the way people eat also. They try to come back to something more natural. It's, I think, kind of universal in at least in the developed world. And the fact is, on top of that, in grass, people weren't just coming back to something more natural, they were coming back to something they knew, all of them, when they were young.
I see.
Because all the people that live in grass now and that are 40, 50, 60-year-olds, all of them knew jasmine, rose, tuberosa production when they were young. Their early days, they were in the fields.
Right, so it's sharing that knowledge and bringing that knowledge back. Now I noticed one thing here, and you got really quiet. And you actually had a lot to say on camera, and you too, Nina. And I felt like I feel like everybody at this table has, with the exception of me, I've been learning, but has had something to do with communicating to the world a little bit about what grass is about and what its significance is. And you were saying that you were on a board, right? Or a committee, right, with the flowers. Yes. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
We have an association of growers in grass. We represent the half of the grower of all pays grass.
Right.
And in this association, our goal is to protect our technique and our savoir-faire. And knowledge.
Okay, knowledge.
Technique and knowledge, and we have to for goal to share it with new growers, with new people who are invested in this in putting flower all over grass.
Right.
Like it was 30 years ago.
I see. Okay, so we're investing like in the crops and making sure that and that this is directly relatable to you too, because you just purchased this crop not too long ago, right? So new farmers here in grass for the most part. Okay.
And to illustrate what I was saying, the property we are buying was the last production on it was jasmine, but it
Yes.
was more than 40 years ago.
More than 40 years ago. Wow. And so this is not only your work, but it's your home.
Yes.
So you're very, very invested in this to a certain
But
extent.
it's important. It's work that at times will be hard. I told you
Yeah,
we
so
don't
talk
work
about
in the
pulling
rain.
weeds.
No, yeah. Pulling weeds,
You had to
we
pull
don't do it
weeds.
in the rain. But picking rose when it's the season, we will do it in the rain, for instance. It's work. You can do it twice as fast,
Right.
but it won't be done as well. So you have, I think you have to be invested to have this passion
To take time. When you need time,
to do
you
it
have to
really
take time
well.
to do
And
it
the
right.
fact that it's not just our field, just our work, it's also our house helps that. It helps to bring the little extra, the little thing. It's time to go, but no. If it takes 1 hour more to make the thing perfect, we will do it.
Right.
Because we love what we do, but also because we live here. So,
Right.
so it's important, yeah.
That's really fantastic, right? And we were saying that Grass is up for it was UNESCO. It was like UNESCO tangible. Do you remember what it was? The whole
I don't know.
title.
Immatériel, inherent,
Intangible?
intangible,
Intangible.
patrimoine.
I don't know.
What is the French name? Remember you had the French.
C'est le patrimoine immatériel de l'UNESCO.
Okay, whoa, that.
Le patrimoine mondial immatériel de l'UNESCO.
Right, and the community had to come together for that, right, and
Yes.
really speak to what's in Grass and why it's important.
Mhm.
Right, that's incredible. Wow.
Yeah. We brought a committee from UNESCO.
Right.
We toured the different producers, different farms, different crops.
And we have to prove that this flower, this knowledge must be protected for years.
Right, and that was an example where everybody had to share their information, right? Because you had to come up with certain standards. You had to show that there were certain standards or practices happening in Grass that weren't happening anywhere else. And I really think that speaks to a lot of people's passion when it comes to perfumery, because it takes a lot for competitors to want to get together and to actually, discuss what they're doing so that you can make a standard of it.
It's really odd and nice that they're willing to do that. But
Right.
Obviously, UNESCO is not just the growers; it's all the
La filière.
la filière. I don't know.
Also
All
the
the chain, en fait, the production chain.
The
Oh, the
transfer.
whole
until
production chain,
the,
okay.
The finished products.
Right.
And that means us growers, but transformers. I'm sorry, extraction, creation, etc.
Right.
So the committee from the UNESCO toured all of that. They visited this. I think the same installations you saw, and it's integrated.
Right.
We couldn't. There's no way we could produce the same flowers, and
Okay.
we could produce them. There's no way we could sell them
Yes.
Oh, I see.
this price, and the price we need because there's much work. If there wasn't all the rest in Grass.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do maybe a couple more minutes talking. I want you guys to reintroduce yourself because we have people. I see people joining us on camera right now. Hi, everybody.
Hi to
How are
the
you doing?
newcomers.
Hi. Hello, newcomers. And so we're just talking about the significance of Grass and perfumery. We're going to go around the table really quick, and we're just going to have everybody reintroduce themselves just so you're acquainted with everyone who's sitting at the table. We're having tea. Well, I'm the only one having tea now. I'm a little slow. Been talking too much. But we're just going over kind of like what makes Grass significant. So you are...
Yes.
Tell everybody who you are.
I'm Anne. I'm a grower with my boyfriend. And what I like very about Grass, it's a specific terroir.
Oh yes, this word terroir.
This word again.
I
Terroir. I think half of
Terroir.
you viewers should know it.
Yes, explain what terroir is to everyone who doesn't know.
Terroir is a combination of the soil, the nature of the soil, the climate, and the environment direct.
Right, the
with
environment.
flower. Yes. And Grass is very specific because we have the sea not far,
Right.
and big mountains just behind us, who protects us from big winds and big colds. And it is very, very particular to be into the sea and into the mountain. And really, we have a climate very specific that it just warm enough in summer and just cold enough, not too much, just cold enough in winter.
It sounds like Goldilocks, you know. Goldilocks.
So
just right.
Just
right.
what we need to the flower to have the most magnific smell.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then did you want to introduce yourself real fast?
Yeah, I'm Mo.
And I wanted you to talk a little bit because this really like caught my attention. I don't want to miss this. You talked about the relationship with the what would it be, like your supplier?
So we have to have this trust toward our client because we invest a lot of work. As I told you, it's a crop that's put in place for at least 20 years, maybe more.
Right.
It's a lot of work up front.
Yes.
We have to be sure to sell our production. On the other side, our client, he helps us very much financially,
right?
with counsel and with many things,
right.
And he too can't put that work up front if there's a risk that we are going to sell our flower to the next bidder whenever we want.
Right.
I don't know, in French we say the nez.
The nose.
Yeah, the nose. That's right. The nose, like the master perfumer.
Yeah,
I guess is what you would say, right? So you have a very intimate relationship.
Yeah. He's
with
very
the client.
vested. He has an interest in his production, so he will come to the fields every year. He will smell.
Great.
And he put his hand in the basket and takes the flower and smell it. And
he knows his flowers. They're really invested in what they're doing here.
Right.
They understand that it's important for them. It's the exception.
Yeah.
and it's a real revival.
It's a revival, and it's really a bet toward the futures.
Right.
The future. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's working. From what we see,
Right.
And I hope you saw that too. It seems it's.
We
kind
have a
of
comment
working.
really fast from someone who says, "You guys are so iconic."
Yeah. We didn't make it so on purpose. Huh?
Yeah. This is
we're
what
like
it is.
that.
Hello, we're here in Ross, and this is what it's like. It's really nice to be in your home. Thanks for letting us do a video
No
here.
problem. If you come back tomorrow or the day after that,
same.
it's the same. You'll be on that table.
Well, I already told you I'd be back in August because that's when the actual jasmine blooms. So you might have an unexpected person at your door.
It's
And we
pretty.
pick up some
Yeah. That's the thing. If you come during the season, you will work a little bit.
Oh, you're putting me to work.
Yeah.
And so what you were saying, I can't remember who said it, but somebody was saying it's a two-way street, and that's definitely what I'm hearing, is that it's a two-way street between the client and the supplier.
Yes, it's our interest to everyone. It's the same. We're all in the same boat, in fact.
It's really human. Really a win-win. Everybody
Right.
win.
And I like
we
that.
have to understand
Wonderful.
it's really different what we produce here. It's exceptional. It's a little bit better, but it's much more expensive. And so the only way for us to sell it is to have this client in fact.
Right.
And for them it's the same thing. If they want to sell those perfume, they have to explain people why it's so expensive.
I was going to say that. It does seem expensive at first, but then just being here and just being present, you start to learn about the quality factor.
Yeah.
And that's just hugely important.
Those perfume, they are worth what they are
The
sell
cost.
for.
Right, they're worth the cost. Yeah, definitely. And that's something I'm seeing over the course of all the videos that I've produced. This has been a really enlightening experience for me. And I knew I'd be treated to something special going in, but now seeing all the work and all the emphasis, right, everything we said earlier, the seed, the cultivation, the final product, there's so much work that goes into producing that bottle that I have a lot more respect for it now. That is for sure. And so I wanted to introduce you. Do you want to say hi to everyone?
Hi, I'm a communication officer of the Grass Institute of Perfumery.
Right.
So I work for them to develop all of the communication, and I'm really happy to do this because I grew up in Grasse.
Woo!
Actually.
Local.
And it's flowers and fragrance is a real part of our history in Grasse. When I was young, I was at school, and all of our knowledge is about fragrance. For example, we had a lot of visit of the International Museum of Perfumery.
Oh, right.
So,
Okay.
and I was really young. I was like 6 years old, you know. So it's really important to understand. It's it's a part of the past,
Right.
but it's a part of the future too.
Yes, I like this idea. Explain it more. Yes,
Yeah.
I love this idea. Okay.
Because we all grew up with this history of knowledge about flowers and fragrance, but now we have young people like you who decided to continue on that way and create a really gross community to protect this.
Right.
And it's amazing to see like all of the companies in fragrance want to protect this too, this knowledge and this quality, and it's amazing to see all of this in grass.
Right, so it's not only just what is like farming is the old way; it is the evolving way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And there's constantly innovation put into this. One of the things I had said earlier was, I come from the Bay Area, which is right next to Silicon Valley, and we hear about innovation, and technology. But what I had no idea was there was so much innovation in farming, right? We talked about using bacteria earlier as to move away from
Control
pesticides
pests,
to
yeah.
control pests, and I found that like really incredible to hear what people are doing with farms to test the soil, and we talked about the pH, all sorts of things that we're paying attention to produce a wonderful, a fine product, a fine fragrance,
the
if
finest
you will.
possible, yeah.
Right, right.
But it's not. We don't try to innovate. It's not like that. We don't have a ID box and no. It's just when we do our work. Every time you do something, you ask yourself, even unconsciously, how can I do that better?
Right.
Is there other way? Every time someone comes and talks to us, if there's an idea, we do that like that. Maybe we can use it too. It's not innovating for innovating. We don't have to be on top of competitors. We don't have to be more advanced. It's not like that. It's just always trying to do the thing we've always done a little bit better. We know we have learned from the past how to do it well, but there's always room for improvement, yeah.
Right, and so and my name's Trina. You guys probably know me by now because this is my channel, but also just trying to reintroduce myself. And one of the things that I said initially was I said, God, everybody's so passionate here. Everybody is really invested in what they do. And I thought maybe the U.S. might be a little bit different because we certainly have passionate people in the U.S., but I felt that things were more business driven. And then you made an interesting comment to that about the type of people I'm meeting, the type of people that really invest in perfumery. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, basically,
It's a human. It's
Yeah.
all about human. It's not just a business. It's
Right.
a
very human
human
endeavor.
conversation about how we can grow in the industry and create new, innovation to all of the quality now. And it's really nice to see like a lot of companies
Right.
want to protect this, and they talk to this kind of grower like we human to human, not like clients with suppliers. It's suppliers. It's funny.
What's the?
Clients, suppliers. It's true. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but that's okay. That is.
I'm not sure about English, sorry. But yes, it's really human to human.
Right, and I think it's just it speaks to a community of people here in Grasse, right, that really want to revive an industry and have done a great work.
We are very proud. The last 10 years,
Right, and the progress keeps going, and that's what I'm seeing, and really just being here. It's infectious. It really is. Like it's lifted my spirits. It's everything, just like the learning process, a meeting of the people. Everybody's so warm here. Everybody wants to share, and I really like that because I heard fragrance is competitive, and I'm sure it is on a certain level. But here in Grasse, it feels very much like a community where people are sharing things and building an industry together.
We work together.
Yeah,
we have the same goal.
We understand that we are a small exception,
Right.
and we have to protect this exception. We understand that our flowers can go to make all the perfume. Most of the perfume, you can't afford those production for most of the perfume.
Right.
It's an exception. It's what we can do. It's what the creators can do at best if all conditions are right. And that's why we are so passionate, because it's everything. There's no compromise. Okay.
Right.
First of all, the people that weren't passionate went away.
The first
the
rain,
fields.
the first.
No, 20 years away. 20 years ago. I'm sorry. So today, the only one that's left are people that are passionate about that work. First thing, and I think it's the most important. Whatever the job you're talking about nowadays, you do it well. If you do it well, if you're a little bit invested, and you're not just doing it for your salary, it's important. Everyone has to it. Okay, but if you're not doing just for that, whatever the little extra is, you will do a better work. And in time, it may not be instantaneous, but in time, people will recognize that.
Great, fantastic. I think it's a wonderful note to end on. Thank you guys so much for your time. Nina, thank you so much for bringing us all together. This has been a really wonderful experience. And we'll see you guys later.
For being with us.
Bye.
Bye. See you in the summer.
See you in the summer. Bye.